See you.
For just a few minutes ago, we were going through the confidentiality reports, and did you have any questions about those?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so you understand that everything that you say here is kept between you and me, unless you mention something that might be harmful to you or anyone else. Okay, so what brings you here today?
I've been a little bit stressed about work.
Okay, anything particular?
Mainly issues with my boss, I would have to say, or my manager per se. Just it's been a little stressful up there for the past year, so it's just kind of getting to me a little bit.
Okay, is there anything particular that is getting to you more than others?
Yeah, I mean, it's just been kind of rough around the edges up there, you know. I feel like the demeanor in the office has been really down. So it's difficult to be there, you know. I just feel really unhappy there and kind of stressed to the max. I guess my boss and I don't always get along the greatest, don't always see eye to eye, so I think it just kind of puts a damper on the office relationship and how things are run since we're not in agreement.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is that in the office, you're having, it's not as positive as you would like for it to be with your office manager.
That's correct.
Is there anything particular that she's doing that might make you feel that way?
I think a lot of it has to do with her attitude and demeanor that she started off with whenever she came into the office. I've been there for 3 years. She wasn't there when I first got hired. She was there previously for about 8 or 9 years, something like that. Whenever I began, we did have somebody else who was our manager. She moved back and wanted to work for the Bighams to kind of create a spot for her. So at first it felt okay. You know, we had a sit down talk, so I've been the technician that's been there the longest, kind of got a feel for things. I had heard some not so good things about her, so I was a little on edge at first. I didn't really know what to expect with her coming in. I guess there was similar issues in the past when she was there. Lots of people quit, things like that, just because of her attitude. And then I guess the beginning of summer is when things really started to take, this past summer is when things really started to take a turn for the most, you know, for the worst, for the most stressful, I guess.
Okay, so up to now, you said that you had heard rumors about her. And when you heard those rumors about her, how did you feel about her when you came in?
I mean, I was a little uneasy. I was trying to not just have my mind made up about her. You know, it was difficult because there was a lot that was being said, so I just kind of felt I had a great relationship with my manager previous, who still works in our office, still has a lot to do with, you know, my side of things. So I was just hoping that whatever was in the past stayed in the past, and that she would come in, maybe some different changes, but you know, nothing as drastic as what it has really been.
All right, so you tried to filter out.
I tried to go in with it as an open mind.
Okay, so what happened over the summer? An example of something.
I think where it started to turn, I had gotten written up for something that I didn't quite agree with. A few of us girls on my end did. It kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. I wasn't really giving her what she was wanting, I guess, as far as if I didn't necessarily agree with some things that she was saying, I would kind of stand up for us and our side of the office. You know, I tried to handle it in a not so aggressive manner, just to be kind of like, hey, this is not how I really feel that things are going. I don't feel like you're seeing it the way that things really are. And it just kept getting worse. So I got written up. I didn't really agree with the way I was written up, and I didn't agree with the things that was said in there. She put it in my check first of all, so that threw me off guard. Most of the time when someone writes you up, I guess, I would think that it would be kind of more, you know, kind of sit down kind of thing, like this is what's going on, this is what needs to be improved on. I had never even been pulled into her office to been talked to, so this came like out of left field. I've never been written up for anything in my entire life, pretty much. So I was really stressed and really upset about it. I wasn't happy, and I kind of felt like it was a little silly. The way it was in there made it seem like I had already been verbally warned, and this is my second warning, and I was supposed to sign it, and all this other stuff, and I basically refused to sign it. And it said that I could talk to her about the issues, but I didn't really feel comfortable in that. I didn't feel like anything would get resolved, so I went to my doctor, and she did not like that. I went to him. He seemed equally kind of confused as to what was in the write-up and why I was being written up, and he also felt like he needed a more explanation as to the situation and what all of that stuff meant in the write-up.
Okay.
So then we all three talked together, which didn't really go so well for her. I felt, relief, because my doctor backed me up in it. It did make our relationship more difficult because she didn't like the fact that the doctor sided with me and not her, so the tension just exceedingly grew after that point,
Alright, so now at work, you, I guess after the write-up, I can see how kind of hurtful that was to you, or a little, caught you off guard, and it wasn't the demeanor that you would expect to be written up.
No.
And I like though that you showed confidence and you went, it gave you two options, and you went with the option of dealing with your write-up by going to the doctor, so you followed procedure that way, which I can tell that's kind of, you would like to go in the procedural type of way.
Yeah, I mean, it said on there specifically to go to her, but she was my issue, so I kind of felt if I only went to her to talk about her, basically, no one else would be hearing it, and it wouldn't be resolved.
I understand. Okay, so you said though the past few months it's gotten a little bit better.
It has. It's been a slow, steady progression.
All right, what's been the change?
I think when she figured out that I would be staying for good and her best efforts of trying to get me fired wasn't happening, that she just decided, well, let's try to make this work, I guess. We had some training for LASIK. The doctors had chose me for it, and everything had gone really well in a positive manner. So it's been getting there. It's hard for me to let go of the things that have happened this summer. I'm trying. It's hard just to flip the coin and be like, okay, everything's fine now, because I don't really feel that way.
Okay, well, what do you do? What are you doing right now when she comes to you? If you feel that it's better, what are you doing?
Well, I'm just trying to not just fly off the deep end and kind of take a few deep breaths and get it together and handle things without seeming like you can read my feelings all over my face. Just trying to be patient.
Right. That sounds so like you're heading in the right direction. So this week, before I see you again, we're kind of wrap things up, but why don't you continue to try to count to 3 like you were saying, because that seems to be moving in the right direction. But also see if there's something else. I want you just to think about it, and if you need to, you can write it down. Think of a few things that would help you besides just counting to 3 and getting it together. That might continue to help the relationship grow. What is the next step that you could do, even though it might be a little challenging, that you could do?
Okay.
Is that okay with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, I really enjoyed our time together. Can you maybe tell me, was it okay with you, or is there?
It was nice to bounce, some thoughts around, get some feedback, figure out how I could handle the situation better instead of just, my own.
All right, great. All right, well, I look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you.